to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, First Bank Stadium, home to the Commodores of Vanderbilt. As we'll see the number 18 team in the country, the Missouri Tigers, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Vanderbilt Commodores. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And the Commodores will get us underway with the opening kickoff. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. So Missouri's offense is on the field for the first today. And last week, you want to talk about a guy using every tool in the bag from the right. Position, David, this guy did it.
He was a monster, man. I think when you turned on the tape this week, you saw him, man. So many different ways he can hurt you, and he could be a focal point of this offense. The defense, they know well and good of what happened last week. And their first objective this week, Palmer, is to stop that dude.
Yeah, they know the entire offense goes through him. Oh.
There he goes. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
I am impressed with the physicality we're seeing up front by this offensive line. Playing on the road, they knew they wanted to get the run game established, and they are doing just that. They're not just getting 3-4 yards a pop. They're gashing this defense.
They'll move the wide receiver. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Out of the gun to give to the back. Got the first down and more. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
They're going to go right back to him on first down. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Finds his man. It's Terry. Good pick up a little bit short of the sticks.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
Catch in the middle. It's Coleman. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer. But you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Runs through the tackle. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers!
And they talked about it this week with us. They talked about wanting to start this football game fast. Nothing like taking the opening possession, using your script to your advantage, and then getting closer and exerting your physicality, running the football in, off to a hot start for this offense.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. So Vanderbilt's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse.
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There were a lot of quarterbacks around the SEC that probably felt this way back when they played the Georgia Bulldogs and David Pollock, right?
Yeah, especially those real teams with Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. But, like, here's what's fun. You can't throw the ball off your back. And that's what this guy's going to try to do. Get to the quarterback, affect him. The bottom line is every quarterback becomes really human when you hit him. Can he hit him and make him human?
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Works his way ahead for 3. They'll spot it at the 18.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Tosses it incomplete.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
They booted away on 4th down. Looking for running room. He'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stops. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Tight end in motion. See how the D reacts. They'll go to the ground. There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened here.
Got it in the middle. It's Terry. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. Last completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver in different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better 3rd down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to 3rd down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there.
Fires to the wideout. They needed a big play, and they got it, and the foot down for the first down. The top. Wants to throw on 1st down. And that falls incomplete as they tried to wrap up the 1st quarter with a bang, but the incomplete pass takes us to the 2nd quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Missouri has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. Sixth play of the drive coming up. Tight end now in motion. Wants to adjust the pattern. They just keep firing. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the middle. Hits the open man. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10.
I really like this offense staying aggressive. They were in field goal range, but nice job on third down. Forget that. Let's go get the first down. Let's throw the football. Nice read, nice catch. Now set up with a first and goal situation.
He has an extensive juke library, and he exhausted it and still didn't pick up much. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Back to pass. He's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Tigers. That's the way you finish a drive and put up points.
Really nice job by the quarterback getting through his progression. He wanted to throw that football down the field, but nobody was open. He never forgot about his running back, running the swing route, spitting it out to the perimeter, and letting him do the rest for a touchdown.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. To throw, it's Pavia. It's complete. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. The Commodores have a lot of options on second and inches. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
And he needed 1 yard, and he didn't get it. The defense won the battle up front. And the Commodores decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Slips through the line. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. Mizzou has it back on the offense coming out on the field. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. On the move, he fires. Complete to the left. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
They're looking to pass from the red zone. Going for 6. And it's a touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. So that touchdown nullified by the penalty in the red zone. On first down, here comes this offense. Might be calling a hot route. Wants to go up top. Makes the catch. It's Hardy. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
The Tigers have it with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Missouri! They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back. Knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
He'll bring it back looking for help. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and they better get started or it's going to get away from them, David.
Yeah, and these are the weeks that you really wish that you were playing a video game, and you could just reset the console, start over, Jesse, and make something better happen early.
It just looked like they're sleepwalking in this first half, and it's not just one guy. They just haven't been playing collectively as a unit, and if I'm the head coach, I'm considering starting to give some other dudes some chances here.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. To the air. It's Pavia. Makes the catch. It's Alexander. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. They've been steamrolled so far in this first half, David, but maybe a little positive momentum to take to the locker room.
Well, and I like you got the first down of the drive, so maybe you can build on this now. I would play with some tempo, obviously getting closer to halftime here. Maybe create some momentum, get a score here, and cut into this lead.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The Commodores moving quickly to the line. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Got a man. It's Alexander. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Lining up to convert 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads it left. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And the Commodores will bring the punt team onto the field. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Touchdown, Tigers! The hidden yardage, the big play, special teams coming through. That return man saw daylight the instant the ball touched his hands, and he darted to it and took it to the house.
And Reese, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in football, to catch the ball as all these guys are flying around you, and you got to take it, make a miss, try to find spaces and creases that aren't there. Great job making a huge play. Special teams and punt returns coming up big.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Picked off, a turnover in their own end. Touchdown, Tigers, and they turn it into a defensive score.
And stop it. How about back-to-back weeks with pick sixes? This guy is now making plays, not just for his defense. He's scoring points, and I promise you the locker room is a lot of fun. Mr. Pick Six, he's going to get a lot of congratulations and a lot of accolades this week.
On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be knocked down. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hole.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. It's Pavia. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
They couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. He lobs one high down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. The Commodores will call on their punt team. He'll try to really get into this one. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. They'll send the tight end in motion. Back to the ground game on the left.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. The give to the back. At midfield, he's got room. Turning it on. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Missouri! He got a step and just dusted the field.
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime, guys. I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the second half.
And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. The inside handoff. Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Boys, you never quite know what to expect there in Nashville, and we've had a lively first half. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day.
And the returner is stopped. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. Nothing went right in that first half, in the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you've got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to play out of their mind, but they have to believe.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Wants to throw. It's Pavia. He's got it. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room.
Well, they execute the end route. How about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
Now here on 2nd down, see if they keep tossing it around. Wants to go up top. Almost had the pick there. Would have been his 2nd of the game. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
And watching this offense the past couple weeks, man, everything's hard. And they got to find a way to get some easier routes, some quicker throws, some higher percentage things because they're just not hitting at a high clip, and they got to find a way to make things easier and alleviate some pressure.
He hurls one deep down the left side. Hits him in stride at the 10. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense first and goal from the 7. And the Commodores are marching down the field. This is a designed run. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The play action fake. Missed receiver there. It's incomplete. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. They want to throw it. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. And he'll try it from the right hash, and the angle shouldn't be too bad from this distance. Splits the uprights right down the middle. Well, they got 3 back, but that's about all you can say about it.
And you want a touchdown, and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Missouri has the offense ready to go on the field. Buys a little extra time. On the move to the right and looking for a big one. He's got it on the outside. He's loose. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Tigers.
Well, this offense looked unstoppable in the first half, lighting up the scoreboard, and it doesn't look much different here in the second half. They take their first drive of the 3rd quarter, march down the field and score. There's no end in sight for these guys.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Big one in the Big 12, and take a look at how things are playing out here. Cincinnati is down, but not out of it. Not in Nippert Stadium. One of the best home field advantages in all of college football. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Baylor. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about in this one, the Big 12, or anywhere else in college football.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. To the ground with the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line.
Well, the offense got themselves into trouble. They're back in their own end. It's an obvious passing situation, so the defense is just pinning their ears back, and they're trying to get after him. They could not allow him to escape, step up, get rid of the football. They take a sack very close to the goal line.
On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. Under fire. Just gets rid of it before the heat. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. The Commodores will try to back with the punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Mizzou has it back in the offense coming out on the field. A quick strike touchdown up top the last time they had it, Jesse. They'd love to do it again.
No doubt. They've got so many playmakers on the perimeter, David. Just find a way to get these guys the ball in space.
And you already started, man. Making that big play, opening up this offense. This quarterback is feeling good about himself. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it right back to him.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Grabbed over the middle. It's Coleman. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. And the Tigers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Hardy. Powers through the defender. And he's forced out of bounds close to the goal line, and that shove saved a touchdown. Missouri comes up with a 1st and goal. He's looking to pass. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason is we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play just like he did right there for 6 points.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. They'll run this play from the pistol. Looking for a crease. It's Newberry. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking downfield, it's Pavia. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. And the Commodores will send out the punt unit. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Excellent coverage and tackle that time, and that's how the 3rd quarter comes to a close. That's it for the period, and Missouri has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the 1st down. Motion from the wideout. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Nice move to keep it running.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside. David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get them out of a spot.
They'll put it in play from the 40 on 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Got it in the middle, it's Coleman. Knocked down at the 24-yard line, but it's a big gain. 15 yards on the play, and this offense is in business. Missouri has it ready to go with another 1st down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the offense offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Not sure exactly what went haywire there, but the timing was just off.
And that's your job as a defense, right? You got to find a way to disrupt the timing and jam wide receivers or get to the quarterback and make him feel uncomfortable, but you can't let that timing be easy and effortless. Nice job by the defense.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
They're throwing for it on fourth down. Big man has it. It's a first down and more. And he'll go out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they've got it right on the door. On first and goal, Missouri will try to strike Pater. He wants to change this route. He's looking to throw. Touchdown, Missouri! Quick strike through the air for the score. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys.